Hey everybody, I'm Richard Runn with the Leonardo Group, and welcome to this crash course on the subject of mixed model material management. Let's put it bluntly, you have a lot of different parts to deal with, a lot of items, and the usage is not flat. The usage is highly variable. You could have some days where you're not building some models, and other days where you have a spike in demand for some models where the usage goes way up. So variable usage and a lot of variety. And that has some challenges to it, obviously, as you can intuit, right? So many different parts, and if you don't do this correctly, then you're going to suffer the consequences. If you don't have a well-designed material delivery system, you're going to suffer the consequences. So let's talk about what kind of consequences are we talking about. Well, consequence number one, probably the most serious, is shortages. Now, you could have the item that you need somewhere in the building, potentially, but if you don't deliver it in the right place, at the right time, in the right quantity, you're going to have an issue. Worst case, you're stopping production, right? Stopping the line. So we'd like to have a material delivery system that's designed to avoid that, to really increase your probability that that line is not going to stop because of lack of material. Now, anything can happen, but a well-designed mixed model material delivery system can accommodate a wide variety of different parts and still maintain that delivery reliability, not running out. So that's risk number one of not doing this correctly. Risk number two has to do with efficiency or productivity of your material delivery folks. If you don't design the system well, then you're going to be throwing people at it. You're going to have too many people working on this issue, and those people are going to be fighting fires a healthy percentage of the time. All of that falls in the category of waste or muda. So a well-designed system, on the other hand, still requires people, and you may still think of that work as non-value adding since you're not actually building the product when you're delivering material, but at least you're doing it as efficiently as you can. So that's number two. Challenge number three in a mixed model environment that you will run into, it has to do with inventory quantities. So if you don't have a well-designed system, what tends to happen is you tend to overcompensate by overstocking, by having too much inventory out on the floor. And of course, inventory is an asset, but it's the kind of asset that don't do you no good until you actually sell the product. So it's not really a very useful asset, and if we can reduce the amount of inventory that we have in the system, then what happens actually is you free up a ton of cash, or you could. So that's called working capital. So cash you could use for other purposes. And finally, related to inventory, if you have too much inventory, then you're consuming too much space, floor space. And this is a huge issue, especially today. It seems like a lot of companies are struggling with this. As you increase the number of models naturally over time, then the amount of space you need to accommodate the materials needed to build those products continues to grow. In fact, there are many factories we've seen these days that are really, really concerned about floor space and are even going to kitting methodologies to reduce that footprint that's needed to store materials. So you've got four risk factors: floor space, efficiency, inventory levels, and line shortages that you want to be able to address through a well-designed mixed model material management system. And that's going to be the subject of this crash course. In the next video, we'll be getting into the highlights or the details of what we're calling the mixed model material management roadmap. That is, what are the main elements and what are the sequence of those elements to design this optimum material delivery system. That'll be in the next video. But for this one, just to wrap up, and I told you this is a crash course, we want you to do one homework assignment. So I'll give you a couple days to get this done. On this page down below, there's a button to download an assessment. So this is a mixed model material management assessment document. It's an Excel file with a series of questions, and you're going to score yourself on these questions on a scale of 1 to 5. Go ahead and complete that, and you'll get a nice looking radar chart in 12 different categories related to material management. A radar chart that shows you where you are more mature according to your self-assessment, and where you're less mature and maybe where you need to be focusing as we go forward in this discussion. So I'm going to leave you here with this. Download the assessment. You've got a couple days to do it. And next time, when we get back together, we'll be going through the Mixed Model Material Management Roadmap and the main elements that you'll need to be working on to achieve this.